Hello and welcome to another episode of The Break. I'm Josh Patensky, and as always, I'm here with my co-host, Moses Nunez.
That was so weird that you said it like that. Moses Nunez.
Why was that weird?
I don't know. It was weird. All right.
Anyway.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
All right.
So we haven't really been talking about basketball a lot.
Yeah.
Season just started. The Knicks just got killed.
Well, I mean, you should expect it because it was the Cavaliers.
But I didn't expect them to lose, what was it, 117 to 88?
Yeah, well, it's not.
I didn't expect it to be like, maybe like 105 to maybe like 90 or 95.
It's not going to be like. First of all, you got to look at the Knicks that have been progressively getting better each season. So you don't want you're not going to expect a lot out of them, but you also don't want to have them degrade themselves. You know what I mean? Even now with the addition with Rose, Jennings, Noah, even with Melo, they're gonna be a strong six seed spot. They're not gonna be some NBA final winning champion team, but they'll be in the playoffs. Now the thing is, once you acquire a team, it takes a while for the team to gel together, especially when you have new acquisitions in the offseason. Like the preseason, no one cares because the preseason is just bullshit, right? It just gets the athletes warmed up because they don't have anything. The rookies, they have the summer league, which gets them ready for the preseason, and then the preseason gets the vets and the rookies ready for the season. So you're gonna they're gonna need time to gel together. So, can I say that I'm surprised that they lost? No. Can I say that I'm surprised that they lost by that much? Definitely not. But you got to give them, I'd say, a month or two, and then they'll be the Knicks that we used to know.
Yeah. I mean, the Knicks we used to
the
know are
90s.
not very good.
Well, I mean,
But I mean, Melo didn't have a bad start. He had 19 points. Rose had 17 points. But what concerns me that he only had one assist in the whole game.
but
You want your point guard to have more assists.
yeah, you want him to have more assists, but you got to also realize that Derrick Rose is not a role player. He's a star.
True,
He's gonna want the ball a percentage of the time. Carmelo had the same problem. He still does. When he came from Denver, he was used to the ISO system where it was give me, and then when the Knicks try to incorporate the triangle offense, which is defunct offense now, it's not gonna work. So I'm not surprised that he only got one assist. I mean, how many assists did Melo have?
0.
Exactly. That proves my point. They're both not role players. They're both star players. Your star players want the ball. They want the minutes. Sometimes they want rings, but they're not willing to share the time or the place.
Yeah, well, I think the two of them have to learn how to share, or this team's not going to be that good. But also, what I'll also, come to believe is how reliable can Rose and Noah be this season? They both have a history of injuries. That's the one thing that I'm concerned about. Can you get, 60 or 70 games out of both of them?
Yeah, I mean, Noah got hurt. Granted, they played. Granted, they were both hurt consecutive times. In the last 2 years, they've been hurt a couple of times. Derrick Rose came back from an injury, and he's injury prone, and he's towards the end of his career, so we know that he's not going to be this, LeBron James. We're not going to get a dynasty out of him, but we're going to get a playoff contending team. Now, Rose played more games last year than he did the year before that, and same thing with Noah. So they're progressing. My problem is with them is not the injuries. That's the concern, is that it's more of why do we need, I understand we want to win championships, but why do we need them now? You know what I mean? We need them, but it takes Derrick Rose is one injury away from retirement.
Yeah.
Noah, I don't want him to be the next Rose. He's a phenomenal player, but if he gets hurt, and he has the same problem as Derrick Rose, then we just wasted, money and time.
Hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, well, let's move on to let's do our football predictions.
Okay.
We'll quickly talk about the Giants. They finally, they 3 games in a row, I believe they won now.
Yeah.
17-10 against the Rams.
Yeah.
It's a good game. Of course, it was in London, and we know we've been touching about that a lot, how this whole London thing just really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I missed half the game because I was still sleeping.
Well, I caught the fourth quarter. I fell asleep pretty early Saturday night. I was pretty tired. I woke up Sunday morning at like 9. Saw that the game was on. They were down by 10. Went right back to sleep. And I woke up during the fourth quarter, and I was like, all right.
At least you got to see the end of the game. So the Jets,
Finally.
they won a game.
Yeah, finally.
But against the Ravens, the same team that the Giants lost to the week prior.
It's a New York team. That's the problem. That's the problem with New York teams. I don't get it. We do good against teams that suck. I mean, we do good against teams that are good. Then we do bad against teams that suck.
Yeah, it's true. It's just the way New York works.
Yeah.
Now this should be an interesting matchup, though. You have the Jets, who are 2-5, versus the 0-7 Browns.
I mean,
The one Cleveland team that just can't win a game.
actually, it's funny. The Cleveland Browns congratulated the Indians for clinching the World Series, and they got attacked by fans because of it. Like, they told them to stay away from the Indians as much as possible. We don't want you guys
We
to
don't want
talk
anything to
them.
do with it.
Get away from them, please. But yeah, it's honestly, it's not an interesting matchup. It's a common sense matchup.
Who's gonna win?
It's gonna be the Jets. The Jets are coming off of a great win. Finally, it took Fitzpatrick. Gino. It's like every time Gino's about to play, something happens to Gino, and then Fitzpatrick steps it up. Like this entire season, where was Fitzpatrick these last couple of weeks when we needed him the most?
Nowhere.
And we decided to bench him. Gino plays what? He gets a couple reps in.
Gets hurt.
He tore his ACL, and now Fitzpatrick played one of the best games he had all year. Freaking Matt Forte, who was quiet for 2 weeks, showed up with 100 yards, a receiving touchdown, and all right, 1 fumble. But they showed up. Where were they?
Who knows?
And now you're facing an 0-7 Browns team. You're facing them. Win. They need to win.
If they don't win this, this
No.
is gonna be.
I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
right now. If they stick to you know what's this is bad pun incoming. Their forte is Matt Forte. Okay? They need to use the ground and pound scheme. They need to run the ball through the secondary. That's how they're going to beat the Browns. The Browns' defense is horrible. They haven't won a game yet. They will win. They need to win if they still want to be considered, in the spot for the wild card. But they should win this. No excuse. I see Forte getting another 100-yard game.
We'll see. All right, well, let's move on to baseball because there's a lot to talk about in baseball.
Yeah.
All right, first wanted to talk about the Cubs and Indians. So it's been 108 years since the Cubs won the last World Series.
Yeah.
That was before the Titanic was built.
Before the First World War.
Gas was 20 cents per gallon. There was no TV. There was no radio.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like we didn't go through a world war. We didn't even know what World War was yet.
No. It's a crazy thing.
weird.
By the way, I did do a little bit of research, and there are people alive,
Well, like one person.
like a
Babe
handful of
Ruth's
people.
daughter. That's it. That's like one person out of how many people live on the earth? 7 billion. Like it's fascinating to think that one person was alive the last time they won it. Yet everyone, even everyone in here in OWTV, everyone at OWWR, everyone.
I don't know
on the
anybody who
face
was
of the
alive
earth,
then.
I want to know what they did to live that long because I want to live that long too. 108 years.
It's
What?
yeah, and it's been 71 years since the last time they won the pennant, which is 1945. Gas
Yeah.
was 21 cents.
But the only
color TV was not a thing.
Well, yeah, and radio was the dominant
Yeah.
force of entertainment.
Yep.
Also, a little fun fact: the TV was actually predicted to fail. Like when it first came out in the 50s, it was predicted to fail.
I remember that.
But
I remember learning about that.
I will tell you
but-
this right now: 71 years ago, the only reason why the Indians made it to the World Series is because
You mean the Cubs?
Sorry, the Cubs. I'm thinking of, was it 54 they went?
54.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. The Cubs went in 45. You know why? Because every good player that was playing that year was off fighting the rest of the World War.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why the Cubs were able to make it. But
And then, so moving on a little bit to the Indians, it's been 68 years since they've won the World Series. So that was
Yeah.
1948. Still no color TV.
really,
Yeah,
when was you said 48?
it was like the
68?
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV came out. It was
There's
just
no color.
no color, but it was just coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's still kind of hard to believe that it's been that long since both these teams have won a World Series.
How about this? I one up you. The last time the Chicago Cubs won a World Series, Babe Ruth was a kid.
Yeah. Babe Ruth wasn't even in the majors.
Exactly. He was a kid. One of the greatest pitchers and hitters of all time was even alive the last time. He was
He was
alive.
alive, just
but
not in
he
the
wasn't-
just not in Major League
Yeah,
Baseball.
he wasn't alive in terms of the public eye.
And then the Indians, they won the pennant with 54, 95, and 97.
I thought they won in '96.
No, they
They
didn't.
won the pennant.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah. And there was no HD TV in 95 and
There was no
90
HTV until
97.
like 2002, honestly.
yeah, early 2000s. It's just crazy to think about that, how far we've come in this whole technology world, and none of this this stuff didn't even exist when the last time these two teams were in there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's well, honestly, they both deserve it.
They know they do.
They do. They've been playing phenomenal all year long. You can't ask for two better teams to represent the AL and the NL.
So who's gonna win?
I don't want to say it because I don't want to be Steve Bartman. But if you're a baseball fan, you should know what I
Yeah.
mean.
I'm gonna say Cubs in 7.
You just did a Steve Bartman.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cubs in 7 as well. There's definitely way too much on the line for it to be a 6 or 5 gamer. Way too much on the line. This is a World Series for the century. This is the game of the century.
It's
Literally
really-
the game of the century. So we'll see.
So let's talk about Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
The guy who hasn't played the entire season, played 2 games in the Arizona Fall League. I don't really know. I don't even think he actually got a hit in the Fall League. Comes to the big leagues, goes 3 for 7. That's a 4.29 average, a 5.56 on base, no home runs, but 2 RBIs. This is a guy who hasn't played since April.
It's called hunger.
It's, I really was against this because I really didn't think, I thought, give him some time to, to focus in, get ready for next season. I guess, but it shows you the Cubs are going in and trying to win it all.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting situation, but it seems like it's a good idea.
It is. And speaking of winning it all, let's talk about the possible Mets refugee. Not only a Cuban refugee, but a Mets refugee.
Cespedes.
Yeah.
Opt out of his contract. What are your thoughts? Let's start out.
I don't
with
like
you.
it. I don't like it one bit.
But we kind of expected it though.
We expected it, but the thing is, he has to realize this team wasn't the team that he was with last year. This was a team that was injured most of the season. The Mets went through a lot of hardships. They went through a lot of hardships. They were losing guys to injuries left and right. You cannot blame the Mets for not producing in the playoffs.
No.
He wants a ring. I understand he wants a ring.
He also wants the money, though.
That's true. But, you stay with the Mets, you become a hero. He is a hero to the Mets because he's one of the biggest sluggers, if not the only slugger we have right now.
I mean, I really wouldn't consider Jay Bruce a slugger right now.
Jay Bruce was horrible.
Yeah.
He showed up like what? Once every 2 weeks? He was like a paycheck. He'll show up once every other week.
I mean, the thing though is with Cespedes is they need to keep him. They need to find a way to get him back because you could get Jay Bruce back, which maybe wouldn't be a horrible idea, but he really didn't do that well. And then you look at free agency, there really isn't anybody in free agency. There's Edwin Encarnacion, but of course he's a first baseman, really horrible fielder, and the whole steroids thing with him, comes into play. So I mean, you really don't know what you're gonna get out of anyone. And if Cespedes doesn't come back, I don't even think the Mets are a playoff team.
The Mets won't make it.
No.
They'll be a 500 team at best. And, it's just that window closed. Like, them winning a World Series, it could happen. But without Cespedes, it's completely shut.
I mean, I agree. I mean, if you...
He wants to get a ring. That's what it is. He wants a team that's going to show promise.
And I think he also wants a long-term contract.
Well, he wants a long-term contract, but he wants to play. He's one of those players that play for the game. He wants a ring. He deserves a ring. Deserves a ring. Yeah. So if a team shows interest in him that'll pay him a lot more money, then he's going to go to them. I don't think he's going to not go to a team that's not going to play in November. He's going to go to a Indians team. He's going to go to a Dodgers. He's going to go to a Giants. He's going to go to, he's going to go to a Nationals.
I mean,
he's not going to go to Blue Jays.
I mean, they don't, probably not. But I mean, the Mets also have so many questions too. You have 4 of your 5 pitchers coming off injuries.
Yeah.
Matt Harvey, of course, had a horrendous year before he got hurt. You don't know who's going to be your second baseman. I mean, I really wouldn't care if TJ Rivera was, but he's not going to hit home runs.
Yeah, but we're not a power-based team.
We were.
Not really. We were still the only power-hitting guy we had besides Wright was really Cespedes and somewhat
Duda a little bit.
Duda was all right, but it wasn't producing like Cespedes.
Yeah. True. I mean, and then first base, we don't really know really who's going to be our first baseman. I mean, I know Duda's a free agent as well.
We'll probably see.
Loney, I don't really think they should keep, even though he was decent.
They should just drop him.
Yeah. Darno is just horrendous. He can't play the field and he can't hit. David Wright is probably getting hurt in like 5 games.
Well, David Wright, we know he's a shell of his former self.
Yeah. I mean, Reyes might come back. Shortstop, you still have Cabrera. So, I mean, you're set there. And then the outfield, if Cespedes is back, you have Conforto, Longaris, and Nemo, and Granderson.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
It's really not. It doesn't sound like a playoff team to me.
It's not. It's a 500 team at best. And that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, let's end on a sad note, though. Of course, it's been a while since we've talked about this because it's kind of old news now. But Jose Fernandez, we all know what happened to him. And it's been confirmed through multiple tests that they were all on this boat and they were all drunk. And so it was pretty much just a DWI in the middle of the water.
Yeah. It's sad to say, but it wasn't no surprise.
It doesn't surprise me either, but the fact that it's been like confirmed now, well, it's sad because it's like I understand they're young, but it's a lesson. You have to be responsible.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he was 20. How old was he?
24. Yeah, 24, I believe.
He's still young.
Yeah.
He wanted to drink. His girlfriend was giving him problems. So, what's one way is to go on the boat, chug a couple down with your friends. But that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it is really unfortunate, but I mean, I guess it's a lesson learned. Don't drink and drive. Don't boat and
don't drink and drive because you're still operating a vehicle. So, but you know, it's really sad. I mean, I was hoping that maybe it was just
an accident, or
it kills the credibility of his persona.
But he was such a great. He was just a great. He loved baseball. He was going to be the face of Major League Baseball one day.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what I think
He would have been a Hall of Fame.
Easily.
Yeah.
And of course, for the Marlins' sake, no one will ever wear number 16 again.
Well, that's a good call on their behalf because, he was such a great player. He was prominent. He was going to be better. Honestly, I think he would have been better than Mo.
I mean, you can't compare him to.
Well, obviously you can't, but
he was going to be one of the greatest starting pitchers of all time.
But I'm saying he would have been better than Mo as in terms of stats. Well, granted, Mo was a closer.
Yeah.
But, he would have been the Mo of starting pitchers.
I could see that. Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. I'm Josh Butensky.
I'm Moses Nunez Jr.